Legal Aid. Para asistencia en español, favor de oprimir el número 8. If you know the extension of the person you are calling, please enter it now. If you are 60, that's 60, there's an 8 times. Please. Legal Aid, this is Diana. How may I direct your call?
Alex Cornea, please.
All right, let's see if it's available. One moment.
Or call back during those times. If you are calling for another reason, please stay on the line. The Iowa Legal Aid website has hundreds of resources. To find information about the law from the home page, click on Legal Topics. Click on Need Help Finding Information in the green box if you need help finding information. A website specialist can chat with you by instant message and help you find information. New information is continually being added to the Iowa.
Thank you for holding. How is currently unavailable?
Well, because of legal aid's inaction, I have to have someone send them my email address. Is Mr. Hightoff in?
Let me check. It says he's away from his desk, so let me try his extension.
Oh, that's perfect. That's really perfect. You know, if you people would have taken care of this in 1996, I wouldn't have to do
Now I'm
these
going to put
things.
you on hold and try his extension for you.
Well, why don't you try somebody who you know is there?
Advice with your charitable contribution. Let us know if you're having tax problems. We can help. If you are a low-income worker, you may be eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit. Ask for information about the Earned Income Tax Credit. Thank you for calling Iowa Legal Aid. Someone will be with you shortly. Iowa Legal
I doubt
Aid
it.
does not handle criminal.
Thank you for holding. I just spoke with Lee. He just got in the office, so he asked me to put you onto his hold. He will be with you in just a moment. As soon as he gets settled in, he will be on the phone.
Thank
Okay?
you.
You're welcome. 1 moment.
a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. except Thursday afternoon. If you are calling during these times, please stay on the line. We will take your call in the order received. A screener will ask you questions about your income and assets to see if you are eligible. You may need to wait because of the large number of calls, but do not hang up. If you are calling for help outside of our application times, please either apply for service online or call back during those times. If you are calling for another reason, please stay on the line. The Iowa Legal Aid website has hundreds of resources. To find information about the law from the home page, click on Legal Topics.
I'm sure
Click on
that the
Need
law
Help Finding
is not
Information
that
in the
these
green
people
box if you need help
can
finding
lie to
information.
you.
A website specialist can chat with
Because
you by
they
instant
did.
message and help
They
you find
repeated the
information.
same lie
New
that I
information
have
is
gotten from
continually being added to
DHS
the Iowa
for
Legal Aid
3
website.
fucking
So
years.
visit our website regularly at iowalegal.aid.org. Iowa Legal Aid's community legal education booklet and Equal Justice Journal newsletter are available free of charge to low-income Iowans. To receive Iowa Legal Aid's newsletter, the Equal Justice Journal, tell the intake worker or attorney that you want to be added to the mailing list. Let us know if you have a question or a problem involving a pension or retirement plan. We can help. Iowa Legal Aid provides hope, dignity, and justice to the low-income people of Iowa. Unfortunately, each year many are turned away for lack of funds. You can bring hope into their lives with your charitable contribution. Let us know if you're having tax problems. We can help. If you are a low-income worker, you may be eligible for the
This way speaking.
Hello, Lee. Listen, I had not collected a rent receipt from Tom Moore, my landlord, until today, because I was told, not only by DHS, but by Iowa Legal Aid's inactivity during the past 3 years, who told me also that my rent payment had nothing to do with my food stamp allotment. And of course, we both know now at this time that it does, because I have a guy who works for my website, and I've associated with him since around 2005 or 2006. He also collects food stamps on the SNAP program. And since no DHS office would tell me the truth or even communicate with me, earlier this month, after I had found out that from Rock Island, because I was living there for a while, I found out from the DHS office there that it always does have an effect.
You and John Grotman had this conversation last year, I believe.
Yeah, we did. And I was told you guys wouldn't help me with my eviction, which, by the way, I won. And you wouldn't help me with this matter with food stamps, wherein they have been telling me that my food stamp allotment doesn't make any difference to the amount of my entitlement. So what I did is I called up my friend and I invited him to lunch. And we met at a place that has Wi-Fi. And I asked him to borrow his Social Security card and his ID. And he gave it to me. So I called the DHS office in Des Moines. And I told them I was someone else, and I gave them the information that they needed to have to talk to that guy. And while I was recording that conversation on my webcam, DHS in Des Moines finally admitted to me, because they didn't think it was me, the fact that when I pay $400 a month for rent, it has a large impact on my food stamp allotment. And that means that a hearing officer for DHS also lied to me. Now, I'm not allowed to go into the DHS office, and I'm also not allowed to directly look at their rules and regulations. Something that your local office won't let me go into their local office and do. So for the past 3 years, DHS and Legal Aid have been obfuscating the truth from me. I have been receiving alternative facts, as the Trump administration
What
was.
truth?
So what
I need to know what you're saying we didn't tell
what you didn't do, I just told you what you didn't do. What you didn't do, Lee, is that you didn't tell me the truth. When you told me you're not going to take my case over my food stamp allotment, because my food stamp allotment doesn't have anything to do with the amount of my entitlement, which is not true. I got a video of some desk jockey in Des Moines with DHS telling me that I have been shorted around $50 a month on my food stamp allotment. Which, by the way, is exactly what the documents that I sent to Mr. Cornea state. And the thing is, those documents were falsified by Lori Miller in the Davenport DHS office. And as I understand that is a crime for a DHS officer to falsify the amount on their own records. They falsified the amount that I was getting from Social Security by $400 so they could try to limit my food stamps to nearly nothing. And you guys went along with it. Now, I wouldn't have to go through this crap if you guys had done something that you were obligated to do for me in 1996. And what I would like you to do is to give me your email address, because I'm not allowed to communicate with the DHS office in Davenport, and send them my rent receipt for this month by email. Would you do that?
Do you want to use my email to send?
No, I want
rent
you.
receipt?
I want you to use your email to send it. I will forward it to you, and then you can forward it to the DHS office in Davenport. To Sherry Duncan. I can give you her email address now. Her email address is SDUN.
I'm not the attorney on your case.
Well, the attorney on my case isn't around, as per usual. And the attorney on my case lied to me yesterday about this issue. You're his supervisor.
How
Now,
did Alex
how
lie
about
to
if
you?
I ask you a direct question? Are you guys supposed to lie to me?
Of course not.
Okay. Well, then I shouldn't have had to give alternative facts to a worker in Des Moines in order to receive the correct information from them. And for 3
You're being
years,
underpaid
for
$50
for
a month on your food stamps, is that right?
3 years, your office has been refusing to take this case as an issue because you told me, your office has told me, Alex Cornea told me that, well, you know, I'm on the SNAP program, so my rent payment doesn't have anything to do with my entitlement, and that's just false. It just is. I had to go to Illinois to talk to a worker there, and you know, she lied to me because they didn't want me to get food stamps in Illinois. They wanted to make it difficult. So they told me that my Social Security Medicare payment would amount to over $400, and that because Illinois is behind in doing that, I would be paying $400 a month out of my check for my Medicare payment, when in actuality that Medicare payment is $130-some a month. So, in one way or another about these issues, I've had DHS in 2 states lie to me about 2 different things, and I've had my representatives in Iowa lie to me about a totally actionable cause, which, because you don't care if I starve. You don't care. And you guys lied to
That's
me.
not true, Jeff.
Well, you lied to me. You lied to me through your subordinate, Alex Cornea, who told me that my food stamp allotment has nothing to do with the rent I pay. And you know, I have known all the time I've been on this program that it absolutely does. But now, because I am denied the right to have administrative relief with any social agency simply because I told the truth on the web, everybody thinks they can keep me in the dark and feed me crap. You think I'm a mushroom? Now somebody's going to have to help me with this today so that I can get this in this month. And Mr. Cornea is not going to be available. You're a supervisor. I would expect you would do this.
No, I'm not going to jump into...
That's right. You're not going to jump into
because
something...
You're telling me it's something that has to be done immediately. We have attorneys assigned to cases for a reason, Jeff.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
right.
knowledge
And
of
your
what's going on.
attorney is assigned to this case to obfuscate it. That is his purpose. Why did your office lie to me about such a straightforward issue? Mr. Hightoff, this is some serious shit. This is really serious shit. And I think I found a way around a blockade. Because, you know, if I report Alex for doing this to the ethics committee in Des Moines, well, he'll have to resign from my case. And you won't give me another attorney. But now I can report you for this. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Because Alex Cornea is under your direct supervision. And I discussed this with you. I happen to have a few videotapes I've made, like the one I'm making right now, which prove that you backed him up in the issue of, well, they can give you only $40 a month if they want, because your food stamp allotment doesn't have anything to do with the amount you pay for rent, and that means you directly lied to me. And you're an attorney. You're not supposed to lie to the court, lie to the prosecutor, and especially lie to your client. But we won't call it a lie. Let's do what Mr. Trump's administration does. You gave me alternative facts. They happen to not be true. And for the last 3 years, I have not had any food to live on. $1 a day to spend on food. That is all on Legal Aid of Iowa. Now, I don't know why you guys want to do this. And you're not going to give me an answer. And right now, Sherry Duncan is expecting you to send her an email with my rent receipt.
And that's not going to happen.
That's right.
We'll talk to Alex.
Because you, well, where is Alex? Where is Alex? Hey, where is Alex? And if Alex can't do it, now as I understand, because there is a woman in your office who impersonated staff from the director's office. She's actually a receptionist. She just answers the phone. She is not in the director's office, and I'm not going to say her name. But this person impersonated for 4 months until I was able to get the information from another person in your office. Finally admitted to me that she had been giving me alternative facts. And she, in fact, is just a receptionist. She is not connected with Mr. Goodbar's office. So, I've had everybody lie to me down the line for 4 years practically, because it's 2017. This started in 2014, and next month will mark the 3rd anniversary of that. So we're going into 4 years of giving this client of yours continuous dribble. And she told me, this person who lied about working directly under the director, told me that there is such a thing as an attorney of the day. And if my attorney's not available, I can be connected to such an attorney who will send such a document to DHS. Now, was that bullshit too?
I'm not going to comment on that.
That was bullshit then. That was also an alternative fact. You know, when your client asks you a question, the honorable thing to do is to fucking answer it. Don't you think?
I am listening to you, Jeff.
You're listening to me. Okay, how about besides listening, that you answer a question? Because, and you know, if you answer this question, if you answer this question, and if I want to pretend that I'm a reasonable person.
I'm not going to have you play games with me, Jeff. My job is to listen. Your complaint today.
Good. Well, okay, well listen, my question would be, isn't it necessary for you to answer your client's questions? And isn't it necessary for you to answer them honestly?
I will answer client questions honestly when I can, yes.
Oh, but there are times when you can't answer them honestly?
When they are posed properly.
Okay.
And when those
Okay, how is not this question a proper question? Can a client expect you to 100% of the time, or people in your offices, to answer questions honestly? Because officers of the court are under constraints by the rules of the court to always be honest. That's part of your...
Food stamp answer questions honestly, yes.
Okay, well, why didn't you? Why haven't you, in all of this time, since the time this case was incepted, until this very moment, not only won't you answer a question honestly, you won't give an honest answer. And you know...
Because you're making accusations that I cannot...
I'm not
comment on.
making
I'm
an
not
accusation. I'm not making an accusation. The record shows that I have applied for your help on this food stamp issue. The record shows that you've declined. And the record shows that you have declined in writing because you said that my food stamp entitlement, the amount that I get, had nothing to do with my rent payment. And now I know that it does, and now I have evidence that it does. So I'm asking you a question.
Talk to the attorneys that have worked with you on that.
Well, you're one of them. You're one of them. You signed off on this case. You are Mr. Cornia's supervisor, and he lied to me directly, and so did you. Don't tell me you didn't, because you know that I have proof. Right now I'm making the same kind of video that I made when I talked to you previously about this issue, and when I talked to Mr. Cornia. I also have a video when I talked to the food stamp worker. You know, I'm not even allowed to talk to a food stamp worker in the Davenport office. But when the Des Moines office thought I was somebody else, they felt free to give me whatever information I asked for, and they were honest. But you're not. You weren't. And the only reason the Des Moines office was honest with me the last time I talked to them was because they thought I was someone else. Now, at this point in time, I'm not even doing this to get food stamps. I'm just doing this to do what I do best on the web, which is be the KGB, which is to be Dmitri, the spy. And I had to disguise my identity when I talked to Des Moines, DHS, because they don't want to tell me the truth, and you don't want to tell me the truth, apparently. You don't even want to answer a question that says, well, aren't you supposed to tell me truth all the time? Aren't you supposed to be honest with me all the time? And you said, when I can. So, I'd also like, now that begs another question. What are the times that you believe that you don't have to be honest with your clients? There must be some kind of circumstance that causes that to happen. I want to know what it is.
I'm not going to answer questions where I don't know all the facts.
Well, the fact... Oh, you already know the facts. What you mean? Wait a minute.
I'm not going to answer that.
So, like, you don't have any recollection of the conversations that we have had, which have numbered, let me... 5.
1996. I didn't even...
No. I didn't meet you until 2014. And since 2014, I've had several conversations with you. 5, in fact. I keep notes. I've had 5 conversations with you. I've made 5 videotapes of my conversations with you. And in those conversations, which occurred after Mr. Cornia had informed me by email and by telephone that this is really irritating me, that Iowa Legal Aid is not going to represent me in this food stamp issue because on the SNAP program, my food stamp allotment has nothing to do with my rent payment. You told me that 5 times. And Alex told me that several times. But the fact of the matter is that we both know now. And I can say I know because I have evidence. I'm not allowed to look at the rules. I subpoenaed the rules. I subpoenaed a copy of the rules in that section. And I never received that copy. But I did receive copies of a person's felony, because I now know that Lori Miller purposely changed the amount of my Social Security benefits on DHS documents so that they could try to lower my food stamps to $10 a month. And during the 9-month period of time that it took for me to file an appeal, several strange things happened. In January, I was told that I was getting nearly $1,000 a month when I received half of that amount. That was so that my food stamps could be shut off. The next month, I received a different amount that I was supposed to be getting from Social Security. Meanwhile, we both know that Social Security doesn't change my amount from month to month unless they notify me they're going to. They never did, and in fact, they did not change the amount of my allotment per month. So that stayed constant. But for the next 8 months, I received documents that have different amounts on them that I'm supposed to be receiving from Social Security. Now, I sent those to Alex. And you don't want to take care of that. And you know, that's a felony. That's a serious thing for the local office to do. And the local office did that because of what I printed about a former director who wanted to play a mind game on a person who had been a psychiatric patient all of her life. And in the end, when I cornered him after playing phone tag with his office for nearly 2 weeks and informed him that I knew that his office had nothing to do with Section 8 payments, he told me it was none of my business. And I told him I'm a journalist. And in this country, and we still have a constitution in spite of Mr. Trump, in this country, a journalist can make anything his goddamn business that he wants to. So I told this director that if Nettie Clemens was not reassured that there was a mistake and she was not going to be kicked out into the street, an environment she could not possibly have survived in, I was going to write him up front page centerfold on my website for being the scumbag that he is. And I gave him 48 hours to do that. Well, in 48 hours he hadn't done it. So I put him on my website. I called his office, once again impersonating somebody who I was not. He answered the phone right away. I then informed him I was Dmitri of the KGB, and that he should look on my website to see what's going on. And you know he did. And not 18 minutes later, Nettie Clemens received a phone call, and she was reassured she was not going to be evicted. And I was barred out of DHS offices. See, and you know what? I don't care. But you know, when that goes to the point of my not being able to take advantage of my administrative guarantees, and legal aid goes along with it, that is dirty. You promote on your telephone line and on your website about the dignity that you afford to low-income clients. And the thing is, I can see what kind of dignity you're affording to me. You will not even answer a direct question. And the fact of the matter is that you're not Ronald Reagan. You don't have Alzheimer's. So you remember what I'm talking about. Boy, I'm glad we're not in court. A judge would have stopped me a long time ago. But the fact of the matter is, your office has lied to me, and that is a serious ethical breach. And I'm going to bring that to the attention of the Ethics Committee. And your name is the name that's going to figure on that. Now, this is obviously...
I have work to do today. What do you need? This is what I'm going to do.
Okay, I need your...
Let me talk first. This is what I will do at this point. I will talk to John Gottman, if the office is not available, and I will ask them to review what they have told you and
Oh, wait a minute. Look, I've already reviewed. I've already. No, I don't need to let you finish. I don't need to let you finish. I do not need to let you finish because you're full of shit, Mr. Hightoff. And when I'm working for people, and I get good money when I play guitar. When I'm working for people and they are full of shit to me, they only have to be full of shit to me once and I quit. I quit. I don't need you to review anything because I've already reviewed it. We've reviewed this 5 times on the phone. You've lied to me each time. So has your subordinate. So has your receptionist in your office who told me she was located in another department just because she wanted to blow smoke up my skirt. For the last 3 years, you have been blowing smoke up my skirt. Or to be more accurate, for the last 2 years, 11 months, and perhaps 14 days, you have been blowing smoke up my skirt. All right? That's just what you've been doing. The evidence is clear because I have testimony from a person in Des Moines who didn't know who I was. I had to do that. Now, when I told Alex what I did yesterday, he says, well, they can hold that against you. No, I don't think they can. I'm a mental case, remember? I don't know what I'm doing. But the fact of the matter is we both know what I was doing. Everything leads up to what it leads up to. And we always seem to come around full circle. In 1996, when you weren't there, your offices blew smoke up my skirt. They blew smoke up on
I have work to do. I have to get going.
Yeah, and your work apparently is lying to your clients. Your work is apparently blowing smoke up the skirts of some of your clients.
I told you what I will do. What else? I will let you have the final statement.
Good. I want to talk to the attorney du jour and have that attorney send my rent receipt to Sherry Duncan. That's what I want.
I will talk to Alex, and I will talk to John.
Well, Alex isn't there. Alex isn't going to be there.
I'm not going to have people kowtowing to you. I will not.
Kowtowing? Wait a minute. It is your ethical duty to never lie to a client, to never give them false information. It is also your duty, as you are with Iowa Legal Aid, and you are supposed to give dignity to your clients. And since I'm your client, your duty is to do your job, and your job is to represent me in front of DHS in issues which are actionable. And this issue has been actionable now for 3 years, and you've lied about it. That is your duty. That's your duty. It was the duty of the local office to do this.
Is that your final statement?
That's not my final statement. My final statement is going to appear on Facebook and YouTube in about 30 seconds.
I have work to do. Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, well, you'll be thanking me even more when you read the letter that you're going to get from Sitejabber. Because it's going to be there too. And your name's going to figure in that.
I have to go to work, Jeff. You have a good day.
You're not working for me. You're not working for me, so I should give a shit. I should give a shit about your work that you're not doing for me. Fuck you guys.
Bye.
You honky bastards. You fucking suit. Who the fuck do you think you are? You're hanging up on me? You hung up on me 3 years ago. So you're not fooling anybody on the web. This is Dmitry Ivanovich with the Naked Truth.